Hello there and welcome to a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I hope you're all having a pleasant time. I do believe we are on part 7, I would hope. We are currently going through Spyro 2, Gateway to Glimmer, not Ripto's Rage as the heretics would call it, and we have just explored the vast majority of Summer Forest. So we're going to go into some levels now that we've got the swim ability, and we may even wrap up some affairs that we needed to finish up in Ocean Speedway, because there is a mini quest I failed to do there, and I can't believe I completely forgot to do it. So yes, so I should be doing the dishes and getting rid of some Coca-Cola cans that are littering my room. I've got about 18 cans around me. Yes, really. This is a regular thing. People act surprised that I can drink this much, and yet so many people just chug lager like it's nothing, and I'm the one who gets the shit. Now, yes, of course, I know that Coke is bad for you and all this stuff, and that I shouldn't consume so much, but come on, don't have a go at me. Jesus. Right, so we're going to go to Idle Springs, get 100% done there. Then we might go to another level, and then we might do Ocean Speedway. So we've got a bit more time to focus on the levels today. And now I haven't really uploaded any more parts. When I started this, part 4 was up, so part 5 needs to go up next. I'll be rendering that later today, if I've got time to. I should do. And I haven't plugged my headphones into the meltdown. I'm not going to bother because it takes that much time. It's such an arse ache. Because it's right in the back. But you've got to reach around and crane your arm in so many ways that you didn't think were possible. And that's your Zamitsi, whatever. Flesh Shaper. Oh, they missed the sort of broken heart symbol there. Disappointed. However, the level itself looks pretty good. Not gonna lie, I think they've missed the ball here with this level. I don't understand how they saw this as like, yeah, this is exactly what Insomniac wanted to do. I sort of get that with the tribal enemies. Oh, not wearing a Hawaiian shirt today. I'm wearing a Slaanesh one. I can't remember what it says on it. But yeah, I sort of know what they're going for with the tribal enemies and such.
Spyro! The idols we were carving have come to life! They've locked us out of our temples and stolen our food!
Sorry, you've always got to burn the banner. But I just don't know. I mean, the sky is just totally wrong. It's got to be way higher contrast than that. It's got to be orange, I think. I know it's some colours, like purple or orange. But, God almighty, it's like, no. No. This shall not do. We can't go underwater. That's very good. Oh yeah, what was the skill point here? Land on idle. Well, I mean, are these things not called the idols? I'm going to land on one of these, or is it referring to some part of the level later on? Oh, shit. Very nasty range on that thing. I mean, they've kind of got the idea, I think, yeah, and I think with the limitations of the PlayStation 1, there was only so much they could do.
Invulnerable to your flame attack. If you press and hold the charge button, you can defeat them with your charge attack.
This is the first time, I think, in a Spyro game where a hint was appropriately given. At this point, you will not have faced any enemies that you could not charge, except, you know, large enemies. So it's a metal shield, so you can it's very good. Even then, I would have said, well, the sort of hint about large enemies in Glimmer, that was quite late. I mean, I figure people would figure it out. And metal shields, I suppose, are a new mechanic. Interesting here as well that there's resistance when you strike an enemy, but that wasn't the case in Spyro 1 with the Norks. I find that very strange indeed, because this game was where I think the resistance when you struck an enemy with a charge lesson. So basically, we have to escort these guys by slaying all the enemies, and the level progresses, which is going to be quite a common theme. That doors won't open, that you need to kill a certain enemy or whatever before the level will finish, which is very
To
much
aim the
like
camera left or right, use the right stick.
Sorry about this. I have to check because I keep forgetting if I've pressed the commentary button and the record button, all that kind of stuff. Right? Yes. Did say something about the camera. I saw that much. Use the right stick. Okay. Now I believe it was in Spyro 2 where that functionality was added, and that you didn't have to rely on the trigger buttons, the triggers to move around. Now these things aren't really useful to us right now, but they will be in a short while. Because we've got to do one of the mini games here. A lot of platforming and backtracking to be done here.
Spyro, you're pretty tough. If you ever want a permanent job, we've got a place for you here. But for the moment, I want you to have this talisman.
Now, I will give this to Spyro 2, the levels, this is basically the minimum requirements, essentially. You can just get the talisman. It's not like you're reaching the end of the level will be unrewarded, like in previous games. And, here, for the first 2 lobbies out of the 3 that there are, you will get a talisman, you will get an end of level reward, and that will allow you to face the boss. This is very different to how things are done in Spyro 1, where you can go, I think barring the first and final world, home world, you can face the boss at any time. So except for Toasty and Nasty Knoll, you have to do certain things. But here, no, you've got to get the talismans, and then that's it. Now, the gems are still important, as are orbs. We couldn't unlock Ocean Speedway until we had enough orbs, and this is especially prominent in Winter Tundra. In fact, to face Ripto, and this applies to the third game as well, you need the correct amount of orbs and eggs, respectively. Now, I do believe there are 64 orbs and 10,000 gems in the entire game. 10,000, yeah. I'm not sure. It's not saying how many orbs there are in total, though. Oh well. Interesting as well that although we start in...
It's fabulous to see you, Spyro.
in Glimmer, it is actually part of the Summer Forest homeworld.
You can charge through
So,
the pedestals
progress
and
is
send the dancing
tracked
older girls
on the
over here to
Summer
help
Forest page.
me.
Okay, so we've got to use the supercharge power-up, and we've got to charge these stone pedestals here. Now I'll show you what happens if we miss some. So, we've got to get... So let's say we do that. Now, we've got to get the other 2 before they are launched back to the stone pedestals, due to this hoodoo that he do so well. Now, I used to spend a fucking age on this when I was a kid. Couldn't stand it. The controls here, though, make it so much easier. Like, it really isn't the controls at all that the problem. If
Idle
you
like a
fail in
Roman
this.
candle. Now I can pursue that
Then again,
dancing career I've dreamed of.
You know, I did sort of say in Treetops that I had a lot of problems with it. And, oh yeah, Super Spyro fan as well mentions that you only need to do 1 jump at Treetops for the supercharge. So you don't go forward and then to the right to get that second ramp, unlike the first game. Which I can understand, but I think it defeats the point of the exercise. I think that if you're gonna have the ramp there, you know, make fucking use of it, you know? I mean, I suppose they kept it there for the sake of, you know, keeping it like the original and trying to make it easier for everyone else just by having that single jump. But I think that's polarizing for the veterans of the game, you know, for those who played the originals. And although I said previously that, you know, you're not going to get another You're not gonna get a second. Sorry, that I guess. Sorry, the hover is inconsistent. Sometimes it just breaks for some reason. I don't know if it's because I've hit the level's ceiling or anything, but sometimes it just won't allow you to hover. Like that. Can't. Unless it's because I did it too early. Maybe that's it, that you have to do it immediately after to cancel it. Which I can see the benefits of. In fact, I think that was a thing in A Hero's Tale. Now, I don't believe that's the idol we have to land. I believe there's another one somewhere. We shall find out soon enough. We shall get these skill points. Like in the look of the fish here. Which we will get to see very soon. Now, we are going to come to one of the worst puzzles in a video game I ever had to endure as a child. I'm glad to say that I'm quite good at these things now. The only one I think I've ever been stuck on is like in World of Warcraft, where in the Shaman class hall there is a mini game, and it's just like a mad version of this. If you just look at it now, you probably know what this puzzle is, but I'm going to see if I can try and remember it. But it used to took me an age, and if I mess it up, I've messed it up hard.
Unless we can solve the three puzzles.
It's weird like that.
The first puzzle is to turn all these blocks yellow. If you have trouble, come back and...
At least we can reset it, though. So, the idols have locked the tools in this chest here. The only way to open the chest is to solve this puzzle. We've got to make all these blocks yellow. We step on one. It turns it yellow, but eliminates two. To an extent. I am explaining the puzzle very poorly. There we go. Ah, turn it all green anyway.
I mean, I knew you could do it. Now,
used to be the entire block was turned green rather than just the top of it. Energy lines going between them as well. I can't remember that, but I do know there were parts of another level that did that. I have to say, I love the how the water sort of shines, it reflects on the walls. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, they've made this place very interesting. In fact, this definitely reminds me of A Hero's Tale. Like, it really does. Like, the detail, the lighting, the artwork. I could see A Hero's Tale being the next game to be ported.
This idol says he's hungry and won't be satisfied
not ported, sorry,
until he
remastered.
swallowed 10 fish. He's got a sensitive stomach, so watch what kind of fish you feed him.
Okay, so we've got a flame fish to feed the idol. The idol is very picky. Very much like me. So we've got to flame the fish, nice and easy. But he only likes fish of a certain colour. If we flame a red fish in, he pukes them out. And I think he'll chuck out about 5 fish. So, now, I must admit, it's a lot easier to react to this. Because before, like, if you notice there's a little pause when they get to the surface, that wasn't there when the game was originally made. And this could take a long time to do if you weren't paying attention. But here you get a nice little delay, so you get to read, so you look at the colours.
Okay, Spyro, just one more puzzle to go. I'll meet you over by the colored stones for your final challenge.
Stones for your final challenge, thank you. Okay, so we've got to go through the final. Now, we didn't really have to complete the level before we did that stuff, but I just think it's good to sort of clear the path and let you have a look at the level before we sort of get onto the different puzzles and such. Or maybe if you want to skip ahead or something like that.
If you jump on these stones in the correct order, you will solve the puzzle. I only know what the first one is. It's up to you to figure the rest out.
Now this is just going to be trial and error. Let's see if I can actually concentrate while recording. At least I think it's trial and error. Right, okay, so that's that one. Okay. So, star. thinking about the shape. Is it this one? It is. Square is another square. No, there isn't. What about the colour? Is it the orange one? Yes, it is. Now the moon matches this one here, and the shape, the shape of the platform rather than the icon is a triangle. So it's this one. I thought it was trial and error before. It's a lot clearer now. I must admit, I didn't really understand it before.
All I have to give you is this shiny thing I found in our toolbox.
Once again, and I know I keep bringing this up, and if it gets annoying, I apologise. You know, my autistic brain has failed me. I've started doing that. I mean, like, honestly, ever since I learned about that, I've not been able to stop thinking. I'm way more conscious of it now. So, yeah. But, oh well. Surprisingly, don't get any shit for it. Like being fat. No one ever gives any shit for being fat anymore. It's a school thing, I think. 400 gems. 100% complete the level. I do believe that we haven't... I'm sure there was something else. I want to try this land on the idol bollocks. Let's have a look at what it is. It's a shame this level's completed so quickly. Yeah, I do enjoy it. I'm not going to bother listening to the music unless it's a level that I particularly really want to. They didn't mean the idol that was in the centre there. I'm not thinking about the one there. The idol. To what idol? Oh, shit. What idol do they refer to? No, I can't go from that and go there. I'm going to try it anyway. Idol. I'm thinking idol. So I'm thinking... like one of those Easter Island heads. Is it one of the creatures? Because I think the other one had a sort of flat head. It was like sort of square, like a platform almost. The one with the umbrella that had entrapped the hula girls. Let's try this, because that seems... ah, shit! Doable. I'm going to try it one more time. I don't want to look up a guide for these or anything like that, because it's... I think that massively defeats the point, and a lot of the fun of doing this. Oh Jesus, no! I think charge jumping is quite important in this game, or at least this remaster of the game. No, I'll give up on that one. Oh shit again! For Christ's sakes! You know, in the Insane Trilogy, Slippery Climb was my metric. This is what I was going to use as a metric for the games, for the game's controls, like to see how it really fared. And that wasn't the level that everyone had trouble with, which was, to me, awfully strange. I think that can be done with the charge. I think that can be done with the charge. I'm going to try that. Try that shit. If I can quickly get there. That's got to be the idol. I think that's what they mean when they refer to idol. The idol, rather. But no, it was like the long road and road to nowhere. Shit like that. That was the level that gave people grief. One that I didn't have any trouble with at all. And seriously, that level, that one level, is giving me such a sour impression of the trilogy. Like, I mean, honestly, I can't even bear to pick up the other two games. I haven't even completed them yet. Haven't touched them. No, sorry, I did a bit of. No, fuck this. I'm tired of this shit. We'll come back to that later. We're doing all the skill points again anyway. Yeah, it just gave me such a sour impression. I was done with the game. I got to Cortex of the first game, and I was like, I tried it a few times. I was like, you know what? This game has just sapped all my energy. I like that. I think the sort of low poly, low res textures of before made them a lot more menacing, and that scene a lot funnier. But yeah, I mean, I got to context in the Insane Trilogy of the first game. I just gave up. I just like, fuck this, I'm done. I just rage quit. And really sort of since then I haven't really touched any of it. Like I did a bit of the Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. I was like, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to start a new game because I'm shit at the previous one. And it's like, I don't even want to face, you know, Rocket It and Pack Attack. You know, and shit, deal with shit like that. You mental. That's fucking horrifying. No, we'll do this one. Holy shit, that was bad. I mean, maybe I'll go back to it. Undoubtedly, I'll go back to it. I mean, I bought it for PC for 20 odd quid. Will I do a bit of on that? Probably not. It's too embarrassing. It's like, if there's some kind of mod that fixes it, or if I can use console commands to skip that level, I will. Christ, I will skip that like a bad one. Like a good one, rather. I will, because I don't have the energy or patience for that one level. I mean, I've done it once. Fuck it. You know? I would sooner play the original Crash Bandicoot. Warts and all their problems, I would gladly suffer.
Hi, Spyro. It's a good thing you're here. If you can help shepherd those baby turtles over there to safety, I'd be mighty grateful.
Speaking of Wallace and Gromit in the previous part, there is a character here called Gromit. Gromit the Turtle. Gromit is one of my favourite names. It's Gromit is a screw, I think, or some kind of tool, or appliance, or a piece of assembling things. So that's one of the chests that we need to break open. We can't do that just yet, because we need to be reacquainted with the North Pole. I don't remember this place looking too much like this, to be honest. It was more like that they had, like, I guess sort of outward shell-like window. Here it looks more like a torture chamber, which, I mean, I guess maybe if this isn't the turtle's natural habitat, then I could understand that. Oh, that's a critter as well that we slay for. Okay, I must admit that's cool. I like the little glisten in the teeth there with a smile. Just saw a gem back there, you sneaky prick. Get back here. Yeah, so no, I don't think I'm blowing the difficulty of that level out of proportion. It's like, it's just, I don't view it as compatible with the controls, and I don't think Vicarious have done anything to really fix it. Like, I think they've patched the game. Even on PC, they've offered a patch to improve load times and things like that, which is all good. They've added levels that they, I think, once charged for, and I don't know what the hell's happening with their eyes. It just makes me think of Rich Evans for some reason. I draw the most strange comparisons and ideas from things. This is all starting to look very foreign to me. I can't remember really much of this now. This is very different to how I remember. I think it's because of the openness or the ability to just look up. Now that looks beautiful. That's gorgeous. Give the person who did the water a rise. In fact, give everyone at Toy Stop a rise. Activision, you greedy shits. But yeah, it's like the DLCs I've heard are very good. Like Future Tense was one of the levels that Vicarious added, and it was its original one as well. It wasn't like Stormy Ascent, where which was originally made but was deemed, I think, too hard, so they took it out of the game. Yeah, good. DLC.
The water workers have captured most of our babies.
Here's, Advisor
And the
Gromit.
boxes they put them in are incredibly strong. With a more powerful flame attack, maybe you could break open the boxes and release them.
I'd be more than glad to. Advisor Gromit. So we're going to use the Super Flame. Break open the boxes now. Need to stand on this platform here to break them open rather. But we need 11 souls. We need to slay 2 more enemies here. Which is about 3 or 4 in this area. Sub area. Ah ha ha ha, you sneaky bastards. So, before in the original games you could actually fly over to those locations without the climb ability. But now we need climb ability. Which basically means I've got to spend more time arsing about trying to find the gems. Because I don't know, because all my memory of this place is gone. I mean, if I was to play the originals, I'm sure I'd have no problem at all. But fuck, this is going to be painful, I'm sure. Right. There's a Super Flame. I'm not a fan of these archers, to be honest. I still prefer the original ones. I mean, they've got the right idea, certainly. But I just think, no, what's with the icon? No. And the Super Flame here is different for some reason. I mean, the look. Not quite feeling it. Not that it's bad or anything. It looks good. And it is different to how Spyro's Super Flame was originally. I can't really remember what Spyro looked like with the Super Flame in Spyro 2. Might not have changed at all, which is why I can't remember. Right, hang on a second. Is there some kind of setting to get rid of that? Move list. Exit flight is triangle. Oh yeah, it also mentions as well bubbles in swimming. Super shot holding projectile plus. So I can't seem to change, unless maybe it's in control scheme. I like that they got both. No, still cancels flight. So, what did the retro controls change exactly? Oh, camera. Okay. Right, back to the Reignited controls then. Not that the retro controls are bad or anything, it just doesn't really change them that significantly. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get rid of that cancel out of flight, like that. I'd very much like, because I like to react quickly to button presses. It's like I'm used to the old timing, I'm used to... old timer, old timing, yeah, that works. So that's why I'd like to have those old controls back. Oh, nice, the Super Flame changes blue. It takes on a weird colour when he's underwater with the Super Breath, which you will see more of. Actually in an upcoming level. A very big one, mind, so I might have to do that part 3 of this game. Yeah, I think I'm just going to call the Reignite. I think I'm just going to go... I think I will actually call this part 7 rather than part 2 of the second game. Saves arson about, I think. I can do something with the playlist as well, so game begins. I mean, I'm sure people will be able to figure out when Spyro 2 and Spyro 3 begin, based on the length of these parts. based on what levels are on. Of course, if they never played the games, then they're fucked, obviously. Yeah, I forgot I can't flame underwater. Derp. Just trying to wrap up these last few gems. The scuba enemies here don't seem as threatening. Yeah, they're moving about a lot, but they're not really sort of reacting to me at all. I remember they were a bit of a pain in the arse at times. Not tough, but a pain. Jesus, here we go.
Hello, young one. There's a chef up at the top of this ladder who wants to make soup out of our turtles. Maybe you could climb up there and stop him?
Right, so we can't climb yet, so we can't do turtle soup. Well, we've got to stop that gentleman up there. Of what species or race, I do not know. He was a strange creature, but he makes soup out of turtles, so it's like an escort quest that's shit. Well, which ones are? I mean, I used to think that escort quests got a ton of crap, you know, well, being a ton of crap, but unnecessarily so.
Thank you, young dragon. The baby
But now I'm like,
safe up here.
I don't know, they really are bad.
Talisman as a token of our gratitude.
I like how the children fall over like they used to. Very good. That talisman, I think, looks the most like any of the talismans that we've seen so far from the original game so far. So that's good. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I think Toast of Bob have done a good job here. I'd very much like to see what the other developers done for Spyro 3 though, because I don't think Toys for Bob. I mean, I've heard that a different developer made the third game. I don't know who. I don't know how much influence they had, or if that's just the total crock of shit. I mean, I'm not saying that anyone's a liar. I'm saying that I haven't read up enough on it to know. But I would be very interested in seeing. I mean, I don't think it's going to be that noticeable, to be honest, but I don't know. I mean, is it the code? Is it the artwork? Is it the sound design? Who's doing it? It's a sacred thingamajig of our everlasting gratitude. Thank you, Gromit. Can't roll my arse today. Oh dear. It's one of my few talents gone. Two more turtles from... Sorry, two more orbs from Saving the Turtles. How many gems are there? I see 10. 13. Don't know if there's any more I can actually solve. 15. I bet there's going to be 5 where the turtles are. The turtle soup. But we need climb for both of those. I have to get that to Toys for Bob though. They've actually kept the climb ability somewhat useful. You will get your money's worth. I mean, you kind of do out of the when you buy the ability, because it's kind of required to progress. And I don't mind abilities being required to progress. Yeah, that's maybe one of the problems with Spyro 2 that I would... one of the criticisms I would have, because I've said this before, I can literally find no problems with Spyro Trilogy, and that's why it's like one of my all-time favourite games, or rather series. I've struggled to find any flaws. I mean, I could say the slightest thing about any other game, and it's like, yeah, it's still a flaw, but I can't think of that with Spyro 2. But I would actually say yes, maybe the abilities are a bit of a...
I saw something shiny at the top of this wall. You could probably...
No, I mean, I don't mind this.
You'll have to learn how to climb first.
You know? It's like making sure that you've got a reason to revisit all the levels, and I always thought it was a shame when I completed Spyro, but, you know, it's like, this may be the last time I ever look at these levels and think this is gorgeous. You know, one day, I don't know, the world might end or something, and PlayStation doesn't work, and Sony's servers are fucking dead on their ass. But yeah. God almighty, do not show me under their glasses again. Christ, that's scary. I was wearing the appropriate safety gear. Very good. So this is Horikos, which has quickly become one of my favourite levels in the series. I love the rainbow there as well. Yeah, what's the skill point here? All windmills. Oh, of course it is. Yeah, this is where you'll begin to see the oh, now this...
We've always
I wonder if it's the same voice actor as before.
Now they've set up force fields to separate us. If you find diodes, you can use them to turn off the force fields.
I do believe that is the same voice actor.
I think there's a diode around here somewhere, but my eyesight isn't what it used to be.
I will have to listen afterwards, but I'm pretty sure... Now, for those who don't know, it should sound familiar now more than ever, but that, I do believe, is the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants. Really, you know, and in the original games as well, that was the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants. And it's like, it sounds so familiar, and it's like, I couldn't... It wasn't until someone had told me that I realised, holy shit, it's the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants. It's like, I think it's most... I think the word that sort of really sort of triggered it in my mind was the word diode, because they say it in a very SpongeBob way. I forget the name, but awesome voice actor. Yeah, I truly do enjoy. Interesting, it's surrounded by water. It used to be just like mist. I prefer the mist to the fog because it goes, I think, to the storm. And not to mention this water isn't really all that great, to be honest. And the idea of like the bottomless fall was far more threatening than it is here. Yeah, I think if you can see the floor, then it's sort of helpful. So in this part, in this level, we've got to find diodes, which is little these things here, which I do believe will actually be reused as an asset later on for spark plugs. Gotta help the hunter find a spark plugs for his car. But that damned marsupial has taken them. I don't actually remember the hunter's voice very well. My spark plug. That's all I remember. Spark plugs. Stop it now, John. Start plug. What was that? Spark plugs. That can be something to annoy Dan with later. Spark plug! Fuck me. Deary dear.
Your grinder thieves keep taking our lightning stones. If you can replace them all and activate our generator, I'd be very...
Oh yes, the forces here are called the gear grinders. Expect a lot of names like that. Replace the lightning stones and catch thieves. Okay. So these creatures are incredibly mobile, and they steal these sort of screw attack orbs. So I mean, you can kill them all, but they respawn and they take the orbs. So basically, you've got to kill them all and restore power. Used to be a nice little way of finding out how much power was required, but that doesn't seem to be showing anywhere. There'd be a bar that fills up. And it's not really fucking showing anywhere. Yeah, so you got to kill these things and make sure that they exist. And although they are thieves, they are not quite like the ones we... I don't think I really talked about the thief models in the previous game. Fine. Totally fine. Not a problem. Just chasing them. I think I was too preoccupied chasing the bastard thing. Nope, that doesn't tell me anything. So yeah, if they don't steal the orbs, then they just disrupt two pairs. Oh, I see. So you've actually got to kill them Right, so it's counting how many kills they got. So this lures them out, basically. And then you've got to kill them, and then they stop spawning, and then you can put the orbs back in and waste a ton of friggin' time. I didn't like this minigame as a kid. I don't like it now. I hated it as a kid because I didn't know, like, when these things spawned, or, you know, how to trigger the spawns or anything like that. It just disrupted. I don't like having things disrupted. I don't like when things go wrong. I didn't have the patience for it. Now it's one of those things I get on with. Like, this is why Spyro 2 isn't the most replayable of 3 games for me, because of things like this. Just like, it's that, like, I could be getting gems, I could be getting orbs, I could be, you know, rescuing dragons and eggs, but no, I'm arsing about trying to kill motherfuckers who are stealing the screw attack orbs. Over and over again. I need to check something actually. I don't think I do that. I do believe it would spawn up. Yeah, there we go. Right. Just wanted to see how they handled that. It's the same as before. Now, if there is one thing I liked about this zone, it was when the noise that these things made when you powered them up. Hurricane's just quite a good level for its sound, isn't it? It's, yeah, I always enjoyed it. But, even the music was, while ambient, sort of quite passive, still, I think conveyed the sort of stormy elements quite well. It's like no other game, no other Spyro game could fit that. Like, no other level would suit the Hurricane's music, you know? It's like, and that's what I like about Steel Copeland, is the music specifically for the levels. And that's, surprisingly, I don't hear many composers say that about games. It's like, they're not like, oh, we play the game and then we, you know, find out what music's appropriate for it. It's like, no, we just make music and hope that it fits. I mean, this is a topic that is always coming up and I never fucking comment on it. It's music, like what happened to music with a beat? Like, you know, like, for example, the Mario theme tune. You'll never see that in a video game nowadays. Like, even in platformers like Super Lucky's Tale. Who the hell can, like, seriously, sing a song from Super Lucky's Tale? You can't, unless it's Guardian Tales. And why is that? Because it's synth pop. Or because it's synthwave, or a wave cyber. I don't know. But you don't hear anything like that. You don't hear any melodies anymore. You don't hear these, you know, tracks that have a beat to them that you can remember. You know, something catchy, something that makes you think, I know that game. That's that good game. I mean, I will admit, you know, that there's some that, like, you know, can be played back really well. Like, I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, like Hotline Miami, for example. That has a lot of memorable songs, absolutely. I mean, the music is just such a major part of the experience. A lot of cyberpunk games and all those kind of things, they have that kind of music. You know what to expect. But that's really it. I mean, I remember Red Dead Revolver. That had some really good piano music. That was beautiful stuff. But, like, that's, I think, real music that was made for the game. And even then, like, you can play on a piano. That is something that can be played. You know, you don't need, like, an orchestra to play it over. It's a thing you can tap your fingers to. You know, and that's what I think video games need. They need a beat. You know, they need that music needs a beat. I'm not saying every game has to have, you know, music like Castlevania or anything like that. But I just say, you know, I'd really like it if that was back again. But no, they're all about being cinematic and thematic and climactic and all this shit. And I couldn't give 2 shakes of a dead dog's dick. No, we can't hit those buttons there until we've destroyed those windmills. Although there is another windmill that is required for the skill. Another few ones that can be charged up. But these guys look quite intimidating. They're a pain in the arse before, but now, my god, they actually look quite, yeah, quite tough indeed. Mind you, it's important not to skip leg day. Exterminate. Nice little Doctor Who reference there, because of course it was. Oh yes, amongst Crash Bandicoot and oh god, oh, here we go now. Amongst Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and Medieval, I was a huge fan of Doctor Who. I mean, not Doctor Who as we know it, not as we know it now, but I'm talking like when it was out in the 50s. And my favourites were John Pertwee and Tom Baker. I think they were always the favourites, but I always wanted to watch more Sylvester McCoy. It was rare that you could find his adventures on VHS, and even then, like a lot of them, like that's when the series went into decline. And it wasn't until Paul McGann took over. But yeah, I thought Sylvester McCoy was good, but I think now the problem is that Doctor Who has to be a slapstick comedy that everyone has to be. Everyone has to be Tom Baker because he's set that bar now.
From the gear grinders, please take it as a reward.
I mean, I think even Peter Capaldi, like, you know, I mean, I haven't watched any of his episodes yet. Watched a bit of like one of like the robotic show with us and all that, 5 minutes of it. It's quite good. I mean, I loved him in the thick of it, so I can see him being a good like Pertwee. But even then, it's like everyone's just trying to be the the kooky Doctor. You know, I haven't seen the. I fail to remember her name now. God Almighty, I know it, but I just can't. The latest one, the Lady Doctor. And that's probably a very sexist thing to say, but that's the only way I can recognise her. She's from Skelmanthorpe, which is sort of near where I was when I grew up. I grew up in Denby Dale. Next to there is Sissit and Clayton West. It's called Shat. It's sort of a nickname, Shat. And she says she's a Shat girl, which is. You wouldn't catch me dead saying that I was from Shat. I went to Shat. No, you went to Skelmanthorpe. You came from Skelmanthorpe, rather. But no, she does look good. I mean, her episodes do look good. My folks have been watching it, and they've been saying she's the best Doctor. You know, out of all the modern ones, she's like the best Doctor they've seen. So I'm like, well, okay. They're not massive Doctor Who fans as such, but you know. Hey, if they enjoyed it, then that's what matters. I mean, like, a member of my stepmother's family, who, if you're watching this, Jake, I would like to know your opinions on the new Doctor Who, and I've actually seen in one of his videos. Check out Multiplayer Media, great channel. They do some news, let's plays, things like that. Massive fans of Civ, interestingly. Civ 6 and Revolution. That was one of my favourites. But yeah, like he's given so many thoughts on it, and like my friends were saying, well, they don't really watch it for those reasons, you know. And yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I look very deeply into Doctor Who. Like, I mean, it's not just like the Doctor and the villain. It's or the companions and things like that. It's about the character. It's about all these. It's about the motives. It's about not the politics, but like the ethics. So, for example, Genesis to the Daleks. Was it right for the Doctor to make this decision on his own at that time? You know. And I know it's such a cliche to hold up Genesis to the Daleks as like the best Doctor Who episode ever, but I think it shows one of the ethical dilemmas of a rogue Time Lord. You know, as ethical as you can be being a rogue Time Lord.
Do you see that big building over there? The gear grinders are using it to steal our electricity. Please help us by shutting down the machinery inside.
We've got about 15 minutes left. Should be plenty of time to wrap up this level, and of course, Ocean Speedway. But yeah, I do like my old Doctor Who. I couldn't tell you what my favourite monster was. It changed every other week. I love the Sea Devils. I love the Silurians. Unfortunately, a lot of my Doctor Who when I was a kid, I had to watch either on UK TV Gold, which it was called at the time. Now it's just Gold. When I was at my grandparents, or we had to like tape it and just hope to God it was on a channel one time. VHS tapes off the market, things like that. I mean, like, we used to buy VHS tapes like brand new, and that was like a treat that I got once a month. I mean, like now, I mean, Christ, how times have changed. I'm buying a game, like a new game, like every week or something. You know, sales on all the time, and yet that was my goodie for the end of the month. Is that I would get a Doctor Who tape, maybe 2, and I could watch them over and over and over and over again. So I was fanatical for it.
The next glides get tricky. You'll have to use your hover maneuver to make them. Press the action button during a glide to hover and get X. Remember to press the action button when you're very close to the windmill, or you won't.
The difficulty of 5. I'll be the judge of that. Oh! For fuck's sake. Right, anyway. Can never get that last bit in. I think it's because I swallowed bubblegum many years ago or something. I just closed off a bit of my throat or something, I don't know. I don't know if that's even true. Is it true that like bubblegum gets stuck in your throat for life or whatever? I can imagine that it would. It sounds silly, but it's one of those things that I could believe.
Spyro, help! The switch to turn off the gear grinder factory isn't that.
Now I don't know how loud this room is going to be, but
it's awfully noisy in there.
Let's find out. I just want to get this done. Oh shit. Okay. Not charging today. Huh.
Thanks for shutting down the factory. Here, I found this stuck between the gears. You can have it if you want.
Okay. Thank you. I mean, to say an orb was stuck there, everything worked alright, I guess. There is something strange about the orbs, and that's I don't quite get it. You see, I think everything in Spyro the Dragon, besides the Dreamweavers, made sense. I'm gonna have to do some backtracking out of it. Like, for example, the reason why you were collecting dragons was made known. It's because you had seen previously, it had already been established that they were encased in crystal. Right? Okay. You were getting gems because Nasty Nork had turned, or rather, the reason why gems were popping out of the enemies is because Nasty Nork had turned the gems into his minions. And he's basically got a good 12,000 minions. Well, not really, but you get the idea. You know, he's got a nice, sizable army, okay? Fine. The eggs, they are the dragon's offspring. It makes sense that they have offspring. Fine. Where do orbs come into the lore of this game? Now, I get that we are a stranger in a stranger land, and that we don't really understand these things, but it's not really been explained where these things come from. You know, or what purpose they had. It's just that, oh yeah, they're useful. Now here's one of the cutscenes that I may have some criticism with. So, in that cutscene in the original, one of them smacks the other on the head and throws them to the floor and then has a bit of a giggle to themselves. You'll see this in Magma Cone as well, but here they give a high five, which I think works. I think that works. It doesn't kill a punchline, which it did before, because like that creature there being electrocuted was fucking funny. But Yeah, but just slapped to the back of the head. Well, funny. Didn't really sort of have any place in the game.
Nice work, Spyro. The orbs you're carrying have activated the special portal. You won't find a talisman in Ocean Speedway, but if you're fast, you'll get
If we've
lots
got
of
time, I
pleasure.
want to check something
Have
very
fun.
quickly because this is quite... Yeah, we've got time, right? It's a bit weird. So, in the original, Allura would sort of disappear from a location when she wasn't really, I'm going to say needed as such, but didn't really have any more to say. So, like, for example, once you'd crossed the bridge of Summer Forest, you kind of knew what you were doing then, and she didn't really stick around. But I wonder if she's still there, because that's something that... I mean, it doesn't brass me off or anything, it's not bad, it's just strange. Oh no. Still there, still talking.
Would you like me to take you to a world where you can find a new tap?
Oh yeah, this is the thing actually. You can find Allura sometimes, and if you're a bit lost, she will take you to, a level where you haven't been yet. So here we've got Aquaria Towers. So she'll just park you in front of the portal. And honestly, while it's a good feature, I mean, I sort of criticise WoW for this a lot, is that it tries to do a lot of stuff for you automatically. It tries to get you into content as conveniently as it can. I find it quite good that that's there, but even then, it's like it was apparently in games as early as this, which I find quite fascinating. So actually, I can't really criticise WoW for that when it's in one of my favourite games of all time, unless I criticise it here. Still very interesting though. So we're going to wrap up our affairs in Ocean Speedway. We'll do Aquaria Towers, and then we'll be done. Now, we don't need to flame these guys, but I just think it was funny. And, oh my! They just disintegrate. Now, oh right, there's a trophy. I didn't know that. Oh gosh.
I guess now you think you're pretty good. Well, let's see if you're as good as the current champion.
Okay. Good. Just avert my eyes a bit.
All right, Spyro. Meet the course champion. In order...
I mean, I'm not a fan of the smell of fish, but I do like musk, so I don't want to get mixed signals from that lady there. Look away, John. It's alright, just focus on Hunter. With his gliding apparatus. Oh! Yeah. Shit! I better go back quickly. Sorry, I was asking about a shit. So...
It's not as easy as you thought, is it? Are you ready to try again? All right, Spyro. Meet the course champion. In order to win the race, you must fly through all the rings. But beware, if Hunter flies through a ring first, the ring will start to...
Yeah, so... she calls it a race. But it's not really much of a race, it's just ticking boxes. You're just going through the rings. It doesn't matter if he's first or not. In fact, I think he automatically speeds up. Besides which, he sort of guides you through which ones to do first. It's not like if you go through one, the ring shrinks for him. So that, I mean, like, even if you choose to go in a different direction that might be faster, the rings will shrink if he goes through a single one. So you're basically just following him around. Never like that turn there. But if we get this done now, it'll be an all bin of I was talking about continuity earlier. And, oh, fuck you, right. Shit! I was talking about continuity earlier. And even Year of the Dragon sort of explains why you're collecting eggs. The sorceress makes it abundantly clear, at least later on in the game, that well, she uses the dragons to power her scepter. I'm not spoiling much, there's greater spoilers in there. Because that's why you play Spyro, the narrative, of course. But yeah, at least it's explained there. not to mention as well, actually, dragons. It's not just dragon eggs. It's like, why aren't dragons that bigger thing where that game takes place? And it's quite a large mystery, really. But at least, again, it sort of justifies the existence of gems. Why is it not this other currency? And yeah, I'm sure it sounds daft to talk about the lore in a Spyro game, you know, where it probably wasn't, for fuck's sake, given that much consideration in development.
It's all.
But still, you know, if you're going to do it well or not at all. But yeah, I guess that's what happens when you become a super fan, really. You know? So I wouldn't think these things if I didn't have as much respect as I do for the franchise. Which is to say, you don't have to be a fuck nugget about it like I do. Even if you do respect it as much. You'll never respect it as much as I do, because I really am the swear, man. I've lost my fucking way. I don't think I've missed one. Yeah.
It's not. All.
Come on. I must admit, I wasn't really that good at this when in the original games either, so I place no fault on Tony Bob's head here. It's just about getting those turns. Like, I've got to, for some reason, I've got it in my head that he's going to go this other way. Fuck's sake! He's going to go this other way.
It's not as easy.
And there's not a thing I can do to change that. I can't get that in my head. I'm trying to think of something else to talk about now. I haven't really got many more things. I mean, I could address more top comments. A good mate of mine from World of Warcraft, great book review as well. I'd recommend checking out her videos. The Hungry Bookworm, she says that Spyro does look like a rather gorgeous game, and yes, it does. I did respond by saying, if ever you get a PS4, be sure to pick it up. Though I'm not exactly a fan of exclusives, I honestly, this is one of those games that sort of makes it worth getting. It's another one of those games where it's like, you know what, if you were to pay 100 quid for a used console, and you get this for like 25 quid used or whatever, it's totally worth it. Not that I'd recommend getting this used, but you know, it mighty hypocritical of me if I would say don't get this used, but by all means get all these other games used. Yeah, I say I'm not a fan of exclusives. I can understand having exclusives, like for example the Epic Store on PC. You know that, I mean, what IPs have Epic got? They've got Gears of War, but that's more like a sort of Microsoft thing. You know, and that's on like the Windows Universal Store and all that shit. You've got
Great job,
Unreal,
Spyro.
but I don't think Arena Shooters are doing that all that well nowadays. It's more like Battle Royale that people are leaping on. I mean, as I said before, Fortnite used to be a PvE game before they struck it big with Fortnite. They destroyed Paragon, one of their MOBA IPs, or rather their MOBA IP. That's gone now. So I can understand exclusivity, but when it's a company like Sony, do they really need exclusivity? Not to mention they are actually a good publisher on other platforms. That when they do online stuff, they handle it pretty well from what I've seen. So I'd love to see more of their stuff on PC and one, absolutely. Fuck exclusivity, if they're the ones publishing God of War and all these other fantastic games, The Last of Us, Christ, get them on PC, get them on Xbox, get them on, you know, it's like, because it's not the console that's good anymore, it's now a matter of brand, you know? Like the PS4 and the PS4 Pro aren't new anymore. Oh, I think we've already spoken to it. Ah, yes we did, because I remember this part here. So, yeah, so that's why I'm sort of against exclusives, but I can understand them in the short term, but I think they're taking a bit of the piss with current consoles right now. But, hey, what do I know? I'm just a mad fanboy PC fanboy. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. You guys take care, and perhaps we will continue this conversation in the next part, which I hope to film before I finish up for the day. Still no word from the council, but hopefully they'll call while this is rendering. Thank you ever so much for watching once again. You've been watching a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Ta-ta for now.